topic we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you some footage, is 5 or 6 mods you can do to your 2000 to 2007 Monte Carlo, and these are all budget friendly, under $500. So let's get at it. Okay, so the first mod I'd recommend is going to be the roof rails off of a special edition Grand Prix. They did make them on 97 to 03 Grand Prix cars. That's only the special editions, but all you have to do is, if you're at a junkyard, you just need a screwdriver and you just run it down the joint, and it'll pop up because it's attached with the double-sided tape. You can get these at junkyards for probably under a couple of dollars, and most people don't even know what these are, but they're definitely a great feature to put on your Monte Carlos. I've only seen a couple of them done on Monte Carlos, but it's definitely the first mod that I'd recommend that is cheap and works and looks great on your Monte Carlo. The second mod, it's kind of a two-parter, but it is the special edition body kits that are only put on like the Dale Earnhardt edition or the special edition SS's that were the supercharged ones. Because these cars are at junkyards nowadays, you can get them, these body kits. You can get them off eBay also, but if on the cheaper side, if you go get them from a salvage yard, you'll save some money. You can either do one of two things. You can take the whole front bumper and the rear bumper and the trunk lid, which is the 3 pieces. One is the SS trunk lid, which is the ducktail spoiler that everybody likes to put on their cars, versus the garbage factory non-SS that kind of had like a skateboard style. And then the other part of that body kit is the rear trim piece that goes underneath the lower bumper for near the exhaust, and the lower trim piece that's on the front bumper to give it a little bit lower like ground effect look. Depending on, these cars are old cars, your bumpers are in bad shape, just go to the salvage yard, take these bumpers and swap them out to your Monte Carlo. Or if your bumpers are in great shape, then you're probably going to need a little bit of extra work to install, because the front for the trim piece to go on your factory bumper, you are going to have to drill some holes, because your bumper didn't have the preset holes at the special edition cars that have that trim piece. But for the rear, I think there is the holes. I'd have to double check with the bumper I have. It's an easy appearance mod, and it definitely works great for your Monte Carlos. Third mod I'd recommend, because these cars are 20 years old in some cases, your headlights are probably fogged over like most of these cars. So go to eBay or Amazon. They are going to be kind of pricey. I think they're about $200, like a chrome, or they have a black headlight. Definitely buy a LED kit for your low beams or that headlight when you're doing the refresh. It definitely gives a good for night driving, and also is a great appearance mod. Number 4, which I'll add, the OEM style taillights. They do make replacements. You can do that. Some people like to do the 06 and 07 taillights and put those on the 2000 to 2005 model. I prefer the LED kind of Euro taillights for the Monte Carlo, which is another mod that's under $500. I think you can get them for like $150, $200, or if you're looking on Marketplace, you might find them. Okay, and number 5 is budget friendly also, and you probably get these from off like Marketplace or Craigslist. Get lucky to find them at a salvage yard also. Is if you want, because your car came with 16-inch wheels, if you do want to upgrade to a bigger wheel, like a 17 or an 18, and still kind of ride the similar to your factory wheels, is Impala, Bonneville, Grand Prix. All those kind of had some fancier wheels in the 97 to 07 year ranges. So it's one of those things you can do on a budget. The wheels that I like are the LTZ wheels that are 18s on Impalas. But You may like the Bonneville, like the 5-spoke Bonneville wheels, or you might like the GXP wheels that came on the V8 Grand Prix, but those are going to probably run you a little bit more unless you get lucky where they're parting one out. It's just something to think about. This is a great upgrade if you're doing a brake upgrade too. Upgrading to these bigger wheels, it's perfect excuse to do a bigger brakes if you're up to it. The ones I'd recommend are getting the calipers and rotors from a GXP Grand Prix, which is usually 2004 to 2008. They do bolt up to your 2000 to 2005 Monte Carlos. I'm not sure about the 06, 07, since those are the V8 ones. They are just a little bit different. But for your 3800 Monte Carlos, I do know they are a great upgrade, since they are, like, I think the fronts are 13-inch and the rears are, I think, 12 or 11, which is bigger than stock. They definitely a good upgrade to do if you upgrade to the Impala or the bigger wheels that came up for these W bodies, the newer ones that are not the 3800 cars, but they're great upgrades. That's something to think about. Now, one thing I didn't say is for your guys that are going with the SS trunk lids, if you want that spoiler, if you did have a non-ducktail spoiler, the holes for your factory spoiler to your ducktail spoiler are not in the same spot. So your car, you're definitely going to want to do the trunk swap, or you're going to have to do some paint and body, because you're going to have to weld holes and re-drill holes. So your car, you would definitely recommend getting a whole trunk. That you might get lucky for the right color at a junkyard. Now you can get it from the 6th gen, or the last generation, which is the 2006 and 2007. You can get those trunks to fit on a 2000, 2005. It just depends on what you find at a salvage yard. They all are interchangeable, so that's something to think about if you get the ducktail spoiler for these cars. That is something you need to take in consideration. Okay, well, that was kind of a quick just overview of some 5 upgrades I'd recommend for your Monte Carlos. If you did like this content, do some more Monte Carlo content pretty soon. I got it in the works. Did like this one, hit me up in the comments, and let's see if we can add some more to this under $500 budget list. And if you did like this video, like it, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.